Are we live now?
We've been live.
Oh, okay.
Hey, what's up, Facebook?
That's exciting. So you started your Facebook ads agency journey.
Hey, there we
that's
go.
why Becker's good at his job. He's like, you're gonna move.
He's money.
But you started your Facebook ads agency journey with the Dolphins at the end of your career with the Dolphins, something like that.
So it's kind of a muddy story because when you say start, right, is like, are you talking about my first client or my first intention to like growing an agency?
Like your first client, because this is like volume 2.
Right.
To
So like
the first interview that we did, right?
Yeah, it is. So the first client I had was actually when I was in college. I had a client just because I needed to make some side money because my parents couldn't provide for me. So it wasn't like thinking about an agency model. But once you have your first client and then you start searching online, then Facebook starts hitting you with the ads, and that's where it started. Like Dave Rogamoser, Sam Ovens, Ty, obviously, getting all those ads. So like in the 4 years I was in college, I didn't expect or want to grow a marketing agency. It just so happened that I ended up getting to 10K with clients because of personal injury attorneys.
In undergrad or
in undergrad?
Oh, I didn't even know
undergrad.
that. Oh,
yeah,
that's when you're doing the Miami Dolphins.
right. So
at
like
the
at
same time.
the same time while going to school, it's the same time. So it was kind of a mess. But then when I left school, I realized pretty quickly that I could not be doing journalism forever.
Yeah,
you
it just doesn't pay
you don't
enough.
get paid anything. And you know, obviously from Miami, the Dolphins suck.
Yeah.
I'm probably a bigger Heat fan anyways, and I couldn't get that opportunity. I tried, but I couldn't get it. That was LeBron time, right? So
Yeah.
it's like they're like, nah.
And this
nah.
is when you're still like diversifying with like the UFC and all that. trying to
Exactly.
find- yeah.
Exactly. Same thing. So once I realized pretty quickly that I couldn't make any money and that I wanted to marry Shira, I switched over and I got into Dave Rogamoser's programs.
Yeah.
I got into his webinar boot camp and then 6K.
He was, when I bought Sam Ovens' course, it was because I saw Dave Rogamoger's testimonial. Because I saw what he's doing with Proof and like his start. I was like, oh, that's so awesome.
So here's the irony of it. When I saw Dave do an ad for the first time, it was the first person I resonated with watching a video and thinking, if I'm impacted this way, this is something I'm really capable of, like speaking to people and impacting them.
Yeah.
I just couldn't put it together yet. And then I didn't want to create something where I was teaching something that I had not done myself. So I wanted to buy his course first with the full intention that I want to build something like this.
Yeah.
I want to have a coaching program. That's what I wanted to do.
So that was his course. It was about building a webinar and a coaching program? Or was it
Yeah,
something
it was both of them. Yeah,
Gotcha.
6K Success and Webinar Bootcamp. And then from that model, I kind of identified, okay, I can scale my agency, hired up Reach Local, got really successful there, kept some of the clients, lost some of the clients, and then quickly moved into the coaching space.
What was your relationship with Reach Local? Because I know they're based out of Dallas, right?
Yep.
And do they do back end? They do front, like how?
Really back end. So basically what happened was in college, I forgot about the part of fulfillment, right? So you got prospecting, bringing in leads, sales, converting those leads to clients, and then you have fulfillment, actually
the
getting
three parts
the
of a
work done,
business,
right? Yeah, so I forgot about the getting the work done, right? Like, oh, it's not
A
like
marketer
just,
at heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Not just get the money. So we lost all of those clients because I had no fucking idea what I was doing.
Yeah, that was the personal injury attorneys, the newsletter.
Exactly. I had no clue what I was doing. Besides for writing a newsletter, not difficult, but to do anything of value to them, I had no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Reach Local. I got that from a recommendation from a friend, and then they came in, and I offered them, after working with them for a couple months, like the people that were working with me, independent consultants, I would pay them additional to spend more time working with me and helping me develop.
Oh, interesting.
Some SOPs for automation, the ones that I showed you.
Standard
in
operating procedures. Yeah.
Exactly. So if you go work with Reach Local now, they have like a setup fee, probably $1,500, and then they'll do the back end work for you.
Nice.
Like, they will not communicate with your client. They will communicate with you. They'll give you a white labeled process or place where you can go in and look at campaign reporting and all that. But they won't really help you on the client side or your SOP side.
I think there's something like White Shark or something like that. White Shark
It's
Media.
very similar.
Yeah.
It's very similar. We actually just went to Nicaragua for someone that used to work with White Shark Media.
Oh, very cool.
Height Digital, JC Height. Shout out JC.
Yeah.
And JC is now the person that I recommend as a white label person. Not necessarily over Reach Local. There's positive and negatives, obviously.
Just like
to both.
subcontracting, like.
Exactly.
So what is that relationship like with the subcontractor or white label company? Is it like you go do these things, or are they saying, here's the program, go sell it? Like, what does that look like for somebody starting out? Or even
Yeah,
brand
so
new?
I think one of the best things to do is when I recommend anyone white labeling, find out what service they're already really good at, and then have the perception value of what the name is. Like the name really matters. Like AskFam, it creates a different type of mindset. If you're just like, I run a coaching program,
Right.
it's like, that's not the same as I run the Ask community.
Correct.
It's like, what is that?
Yeah.
Right? Like it's not, I have a great prospecting system. I have the
The
perfect
Ask
prospecting
community.
system.
Oh my God,
right?
that's so fucking funny.
That's the idea.
It just sunk
though.
in that you said that. That's
that
hilarious.
perception value is really high. So what I do is I recommend going into those companies, White Shark, JC Height,
Yeah.
Reach Local, any of those companies, and identifying what's the best service you can provide for X niche.
Yeah.
And if they tell you SEO, Google, Facebook, then make up a name for it that's your specific IP
Yeah.
and sell that. If you try to go into a company and tell them to do and sell or fulfill the service that you're doing,
Yeah.
obviously you're not
They're
going to get
just
the
going to
results
say
you
no.
want.
Like, obviously, you don't know
Yeah,
what you're
you're
doing.
not going to get the results you want. So that's
Gotcha.
the model.
So your philosophy is saying like, hey, go find out what your provider, subcontractor, white label partner is already good at.
Yeah.
And then just plug that into your program. So I've got like the
Exactly.
Wallet Out program or the Wallet Out
Exactly.
Rated by Button Seed customer campaign. I just plug Facebook ads into that. So that could be my white label person or the
Exactly.
subcontractor or something.
Exactly.
So like, is there, so like they charge to be a white label partner, or what is that financial
So
scenario?
there's different numbers for each partnership, right? So for Reach Local, what they do is they don't charge any management fees or annual fees to work with Reach Local.
Mm-hmm.
What they do is they take money out of the ad spend. So let's say you sell it at $5,000 for a PPC service for an attorney.
Yeah.
They're going to take like probably 30 or 40% from the ad spend
Yeah.
without the client knowing on the back end, which is one of the shadier things that I don't really like about the company.
Right.
You can decide to be upfront if you want, but the reality and why they do this is they don't charge a management fee, so you can charge whatever you want,
Yeah.
and they're still going to get the result. So just
Gotcha.
simple numbers. If you were to spend $1,000 and they took $400 out of that $1,000,
Yeah.
but from the $600 they spent, they got the results that you wanted.
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Yeah.
That's the idea.
Gotcha. And so I would go to like Reach Local and be like, hey, I want to sign up as a white label partner. They've got a program and a process and all that stuff.
I don't really know if program is the right method. They have a process.
Yeah.
I think Vendasta would probably be more of a program model. They have like a licensing agreement and philosophy. I just found Reach Local at the right time, connected with the right person, and got them really, really interested in working with me. And then I just incentivized them. I said, I'll pay you more if you do what I need you to do. And that's exactly what happened. And that's why I don't do anything for Sky Social Media, my marketing agency, which has been running now 5-6 years without any hiccup.
So did you, I'm only dying. It's no big deal. Yeah, right. So you went to a white label company or a subcontractor, whatever we're calling it.
Yep.
What do you guys do best? And then you would use that as the backbone for your own branded program, right?
In terms of executing for the end client.
Correct.
Yes.
So Wallet Out campaign cost you $3,000, and from the $3,000, let's just say I take $1,000, $2,000 goes to Reach Local, and they take their fee.
Exactly.
So it's arguable that like the Facebook ads for a $3,000 program could be like $400 or $500. But honestly, as long as their phone is ringing, it's the
and they're
same
getting the
exact
result.
thing.
Exactly.
Right.
But it comes to a point of integrity, right? Like what type of expectation are you setting? If you're setting up that you're going to get $3,000 worth of ads, campaigns, like numbers, it's not really fair. If you're going
Right.
to get $3,000 for the whole package,
Yeah.
then the expectation is set up more appropriately. That's the biggest difficulty, I think, for most people starting, is that they're pulling numbers out of their ass for what they expect the result to be.
Correct.
And then I'm sure you get this in your group all the time. Like, hey, Jeff, like how much do you need to have to get results for an attorney in Dallas? It's like, well, Dallas is different than Miami
Yeah.
as much as it is different than someplace in Idaho. The variables are too great to identify, and there's no really strong tool. We created a SaaS product that we no longer offer anymore, but it was called the Budget Proposal Tool.
Yeah.
And it was the idea that from the variables, from like the search KPIs, we can identify how much you need in ad spend to
Yeah.
get an X result, so you can have a really strong return on the investment. But the reason we stopped doing it is because even though we had some good numbers from Google,
Yeah.
when you would look at the end of the campaigns, the numbers would still be off by at least 20%. So
Yeah.
it's pretty hard to identify prior until you have experience. And I think most people, as you have probably experienced yourself, they get really worked up about like, oh, am I going to fail like with this client? Newsflash, my friends, you're going to fail. You're
Yep.
going to have a client that you screw over, that doesn't work out well. It doesn't mean don't care about it. It just means learn from it and make
Yeah.
it better. That's the
1
key.
out of 10 is going to bomb. I just
No
accept
doubt.
it. Yeah.
It's no doubt. It has to be.
So what is the value add? So like for somebody starting out, and even somebody like on the veteran side, they're saying, all right, I've got, let's just say a $3,000 program, right? Why am I here? What's the value add? Things like that. If $3,000 and only $1,000 going to ad spend, why doesn't that client just go straight to Reach Local or subcontract it himself, right?
Great question. That's one of the like main obstacles that people say, like, I'm nervous about if they steal my clients. So let's start with just a philosophy in general that I
Yeah.
go by. You focus on what you control, right? Like focusing on things you do not control is not going to help anyone. It's
Yeah.
just going to make you frustrated and anxious all the time. So I don't think that's a really effective method of, worrying about your business models. Like, are they going to steal my clients? Like, Do you have control over that anyways?
Right.
No. So like move on. The other point is ask, right? Ask the actual company itself. Like, do you guys sell direct to SMBs, small businesses, or any size businesses? ReachLocal does not sell direct to SMBs. Vendasta does not sell direct to SMBs.
Interesting.
Other companies do sell direct to SMBs.
Yeah.
And then in their contract stipulation would be that they will not take your clients even if you leave them, which
Gotcha.
is the case, right?
Interesting.
But of course, there's the opportunity. The value for those white label companies are that they're not doing the prospecting and sales.
Yeah.
They're doing what they do best, which is the fulfillment, and they just have the clients funnel to them, which makes it easier for them long term.
Interesting. So let's say I'm running around town. I'm like, hey, I know that I could spend $1,000 with ReachLocal or any subcontractor and get great results. How do I go then start the prospecting process? Is it like, hey, law firm, I can go ahead and do this thing for $1,500? Is it, hey, let me identify problems in your business? Do you have like an onboarding process? Like, what does the prospecting process look like for like somebody on your side?
Right. So like what I've created is what I call the perfect prospecting system. Now let's break down the barrier here. Like, why did I name it the perfect prospecting system? Because if I just said, here's my prospecting process, is that as powerful?
Correct.
No, it's
You
not.
need the branded program, otherwise it just won't work.
It's critical. So the perfect prospecting system is called prospecting in a box, and it comes down to 5 specific methods that we're looking for. Number 1 is the offer, not the sales offer, the prospecting offer, the offer you make to someone to get them on a call. Like, hey, Jeff, can I share with you a competitor's analysis so we can jump on a call and I can show you what your competition is doing that you're not?
Yeah.
Get on the call, show them the audit. Hey, like you have 2 options here.
Right.
Option 1, do what I told you on this call. I recorded it. I'll send it over to you, but frankly,
Nobody does that.
You and I both know you're not
I
going to
bring
do
it up
it.
all the time. You can take this into another digital marketing shop. And they go, it's not going to happen.
You're not going to do it. Call that out, by the way. Don't even wait. Like, just say that. Like,
Yeah.
you know you're not going to do it. You don't have the time for it. Or you can realize, like, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
That's why we're on this call, right?
So
That's what we do.
So your sales offer is different than your prospecting offer.
100%.
It's like, that's like a free inspection, right?
Exactly.
Like, so
The free consult is like the classic one in every other niche in the world. Like for
like plastic surgeons,
chiropractic,
free consult.
100%. But it doesn't work in the marketing world. Like saying free consult doesn't aspire any confidence or excitement. You have to have something specific. So again, like that perception value of the offer, if you have a competitor's analysis versus, hey, can we do a fact method of competitor analysis? They're like, what's the fact method?
Right.
Like, what does that mean? Oh, here's a lead magnet that I did. FAC. Like F is fast, action,
making up on the
curate.
fly.
Exactly. Like, but then you build it out and you learn from it and you get it better and you make it more efficient and effective.
So what you just told me is that like most small businesses, when it comes to targeting end consumers, can do like the free consultation or free inspection. But when you're targeting SMBs,
No, it doesn't
it's
work.
not going to work, right?
No. And also I think, on the end client, it's hard to say, right? Like if we were sitting in our shoes right now and we got a message from an attorney and he's like, hey, we'll do a free consult for you on the accident you had. Is like, is a free consult what you want?
Yeah.
Is it like, a money audit inspection, like how much money you can make? Like,
Right.
what are we really looking for? I'm always trying, especially in both sides, the direct to SMBs and the end clients, meaning I work with an attorney. What are they offering?
Yeah.
I try to change the model from being something standard like free consult, free audit,
Yeah.
to something that's very unique and specific to them that captures the attention right away.
So I'm realizing now that my prospecting offer, I think it's the right way to phrase it, like my prospecting offer is I will show you how another business just like yours got 30 customer opportunities in 30 days or less.
Right. But now you have to name that, right?
Correct. I have to figure out like a specific cool name for it. And I still haven't gotten there.
Yep.
But what happens is like if I just went around town saying, hey, do you want to know how the Wallet Out Ready by Button Seed customer campaign works? They'd be like, no. But if I say, I can show you how another business just like yours got 30 customer opportunities in 30 days or less, they're like, okay, great.
We call it this.
Correct. I have to
That
like
works.
figure, we call it this thing, right? And like the fact method or something like
Yeah,
that.
so here's a good one, right? So like a client of mine is working in the medical space.
Yeah.
And a lot of medical, professionals get offers like, hey, I'll do a competitor's analysis. Like, hey, we'll do a marketing audit for you. We'll do this.
Yeah.
What they're going to say is, hey, like, can we do a competitor's analysis and show you how the cure method can help you beat your competition?
Gotcha.
What is the cure method? I'm interested, and I'm interested in knowing more about the competitor's analysis. Let's do it. And we get on the call, and now you express that process to them.
So if I'm an agency owner just starting out and I want to use this idea, the whole idea of like your prospecting offer needs to be a thing that they want with a cool name to it.
Exactly.
Right?
Because that perception value is so high because we're so cynical at these times in our life with the time. Like our time value is so small. Like we have so limited time. So to capture attention when someone's on the toilet, like scrolling through Facebook or their email, what's going to really capture them? Something that engages with them right away for something they want, value up front, and some sort of name that captures the insight that you're looking for. So cure and and the medical space is powerful, right?
Yeah, that's a common name too.
Matches.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea behind it.
Interesting. So like you got Cure for medical space. Do you have like any others that you're consistently using, like cool acronyms?
Yeah, for sure. So
And are they almost always a competitor analysis, or there's something else?
No, not always competitor analysis, but that one's really good. I think competitor analysis is something people it's kind of weird how human beings work. They want to know like the things that they're not doing, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to know really the things that they're doing well.
Yeah.
It's kind of a strange thing.
I already know how to go to the gym. I don't
Yeah,
need
it's like
them.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like you talk about like here's 10 tips that you want to do. It doesn't work as strongly as something like here's 10 things you're not doing. And
So like,
what am I not doing?
So I really like that because I see I got tagged on some like I'm on some real estate list, and I can see that because I see all the Facebook ad marketers targeting me as a real estate agent on Facebook,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And it's like, here's top 10 things you should be doing for your Facebook ad agency or to get results from Facebook. I'm like,
Yeah.
if I was a real estate agent, like that doesn't move me. I'm more motivated as a Jeff, as a person, by pain and FOMO.
Exactly. What am
So
I
like,
missing out
So
on?
like, here's the 5 things you aren't doing at your real estate
You're
agency.
leaving money on the table.
Yeah, and leaving money on the
Exactly.
table.
Exactly.
So that's how you get them to like sign up to whatever like, you're
Exactly.
offering.
And it doesn't have to be a lead magnet, right? It can be easily done through outbound prospecting.
Yeah.
But it's better if you have a lead magnet. And it doesn't take a long time. People get so worked up on lead magnets. Pull up a document.
Yeah.
If you come up with 4-word name with an
Yeah.
acronym, just write out a little blurb for each.
Cure, fact, Wabo, whatever
Exactly.
it is. Yeah.
Just write some damn things out. It's not that hard. It takes 5 minutes, then you send it. Now they have something tangible. And they're like,
Yeah.
this is interesting.
I
Let's
think
see.
Russell Brunson said the first thing he ever made to sell something online was a Word doc. And it was just a tutorial for
There you go.
ClickFunnels.
Yeah,
right?
I bought into $10,000 programs that was just Word docs.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It's because the perception value is so high.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you're like, if they did it to me, how am I going to do it to somebody else? type thing.
100%. Like everyone's so focused on aesthetic and like how pretty it is and how perfect it is. Like
I have
you're
ne-
losing because of that.
It's so funny. Like the only thing that looks good is this studio. That's it. Like you go in that room, it's gross as shit. Like my emails, all they have is no typos,
Yep.
right? Like my communication is clear, but it doesn't like aesthetically look good. I don't have a signature. I'm pretty sure my website has a lot of typos in it. It's broken and busted. Nobody cares. Like this is gonna come out. Like people are gonna be like, "Who's Farmer Joe down there?"
that guy?
Yeah. So like you don't have to care about aesthetics. You have to care about the impact. You have to care about your prospecting offer.
Has to resonate, man.
and it has to resonate.
Gotta resonate.
So you do competitor analysis, but are you doing like
Ads audit, market analysis, snapshot report,
Yeah.
anything of those natures are really strong. Those are good prospecting offers.
Yeah.
Snapshot report is really cool. 'Cause
snapshot?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like Vendasta, they offer snapshot reports for $2.
Yeah.
You literally just put in their website, and then they'll give you a sheet of like
No
all of their.
shit.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So if you do that and then you send that out to them, it's white labeled.
Yeah.
Doesn't say Vendasta on it. It's like, look what I did for you.
Yeah.
It took me only 1 second, but they don't know that.
Right.
They think you put out something of like real value, and it's
Yeah.
great. My only biggest recommendation, I think this is where most people lose it. Like they do live audits or video audits, right? That's very common.
Yeah, like a Loom
value
video or something, yeah.
100%, which is great. But instead of doing it live, do it as a sample. Like, hey there, not hey Jeff.
Yeah.
Hey there, here's a method or here's a thing that we've done for other people. This is how we do it. Check out this value. Is this something you want? If so, let me know below. Then you
Interesting.
do it live. You do the audit with them live. Your perception value and your positioning is so high on that sales call
Yeah.
because you just shared that value. Then you do the 2 option close that we just expressed before.
Yeah.
Like you can either do it yourself, you're not going to,
Yeah.
or let me do it. Do you want to know how I can help you? Oh, great. Here's our model. This is what we do. X, Y, and Z.
And that's
It's this
the
investment.
pitch process.
Exactly.
That's super interesting. So your prospecting on demand idea is saying you got to view your offer that gets somebody to pay you money as different than the offer that gets somebody in the doors.
100%.
Totally separate. And we've
Because
seen this before with like free inspections, Geico, like every business out there has a prospecting offer.
Exactly.
And that's simply what you're doing in exchange for probably time, not necessarily money.
100%.
Right.
And on top of that, right? So there's 3 methods. There's 3 core tenets of prospecting. The process is as follows. It's getting a response first,
Yeah.
getting on a call second, and then closing the deal, right? Like closing the deal is sales and prospecting, but they're so intertwined at that moment. You can't unravel them. Like
Yeah.
they're a tied knot together. So they have to be together. So when I ask people, where are you stuck at in the process? So people watching right now, are you stuck right now on getting even an answer, a response?
The prospecting problem.
Or are you stuck on getting people on a call, or are you stuck on sales, right?
Gotcha.
Like here's like a great example. I did a sales training for my one call close framework about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
And I started the conversation by saying, hey, before we dive in, can you guys give me on average, how many of you average more than 1 sales call per week?
Yeah.
Like no one, right? But they want to be on a sales conversation because it's sexy to talk about. You're averaging 3 calls a month. Like This is not the problem, guys.
Right.
Let's fix the prospecting problem, right?
Yeah.
And so obviously my step 2 close would be, hey, I gave you step 2, which is how to do sales.
Yeah.
Step 1 prerequisite is prospecting. Buy my program.
Yeah.
Right? That's the logic
Teach
that I'm
step
going
2.
after. Exactly.
Yeah.
I love that model. It's great. I actually learned that from Dan Henry.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Gotta
Yeah.
give a shout out.
Yeah,
Gotta give a
yeah,
shout
that's
out.
how I
It's a
got my
great
start.
method. It's
Yeah.
a great method. And it works really well. But it's true. It's like, why are you on a sales video if you don't even average like 2 calls a month? This is so silly. Your
Yeah.
problem is obviously not getting the calls.
It's a prospecting problem, not a sales problem.
Exactly. So if someone is struggling with getting even a response,
Yeah.
we change it not from a prospecting offer, but to a nurture offer.
Interesting.
And a nurture offer is a question that you asked to get a response. Now,
Yeah.
one of them that you already mentioned is like, hey, can you handle like 10 more patients this month? Let
Yeah.
me know, right? Or just as simple as like, hey, do you use a CRM for productivity? Right? Let me talk about this for a second, and I think you'll totally resonate with this. And everyone here, hopefully, this is an eye-opening experience. So many people want to talk to me about competition and saturated markets, and
Yeah.
a lot of what we're talking about, obviously, is how to overcome that by having a unique model, which
Yeah.
is what we're expressing. But I also like to express again, like you can only focus on what you have control over.
Correct.
So focusing about what other people are doing is not going to help you in any way. It's just going to make you frustrated.
Yeah.
It's just going to upset you. But on the other end of the spectrum, like one of the most valuable things you could possibly do is provide value up front,
Yeah.
give them the value that they want, and then understand very, very clearly that
Yeah.
they're the person that's going to give you the best feedback.
Gotcha.
Not me, not you, no one else. Like if someone says no to you, say, what could I have done to win your business? Like
Right.
what would have you,
You
been
tell, and they'll
interested
probably
in?
tell you. They're like, you didn't show up on time.
Couple
or
people
like,
will.
yeah.
Couple people will. Some people won't answer you, but the people that do will give you the insight that you need to really exceed.
Yeah. So if you got a sales problem, you probably have a prospecting problem. Like if you aren't doing like 4 or 5 sales calls a week, you have a prospecting problem.
100%.
Right?
My milestone is 3 sales calls per week minimum.
Bad news.
What's that?
Your internet just went down.
My internet went down.
Oh no. What's up, fam? Guys
What?
missed us? We just shared all the good stuff. So
I
sorry.
think using that one secret, you're gonna make like $100,000.
100 grand, right?
Exactly.
100 grand.
I totally don't remember where the stream broke or something like that.
Nope.
But we were talking about how there's like of all the phases, like there's 3 big ones, which is the sales and marketing, and then the
Prospecting, sales, fulfillment.
prospecting, sales, fulfillment. And prospecting breaks down in a couple parts. So like your prospecting offer is actually different than your
Nurture offer.
Your nurturing offer.
Yeah.
Your nurturing offer, which is different than like the actual thing that you're doing in
Exactly.
exchange for money.
Exactly.
So your nurturing offer is usually manifested in something like, hey, can you get 10 more patients this month,
It's a
right?
question to spark a response, right?
Gotcha.
Like most people really struggle either in getting a response or getting someone converted into a call.
Yeah.
Just to spark a response, understand like what the audience wants.
So does that
right?
mean some people who are like running around town saying like, I've got a sales problem or something like that, they actually like, unless they're doing 2 or 3 sales calls a week, they probably don't have a sales problem,
Well,
right?
here's just the in general reality of this business model is that people don't know what the problems they have, or they don't want to solve the real problem because it's easier to solve a surface level issue.
Correct.
So they'll say like, Alex, I have a sales problem. Like, okay, how many sales calls have you had in the last 30 days? 2.
Right.
You have a sales problem?
Right. You got a
Don't think you have a
prospecting
sales problem, my man.
Right.
You got a prospecting problem. That's the issue. It's not sales. I think just people in general, human beings, would rather solve surface level problems than nip it in the bud.
It's
and
just
go
how we're
deeper.
wired.
It's how we're wired.
Yeah.
It's just easier, the easier way. I also think that's kind of like the philosophy of Occam's razor. Like you want to go with the easier method, but in that one specific sense,
Yeah.
that's the opposite of what you want to do. You want to go to the harder path, which is really fixing the core
prospecting
related
problem.
issue. Exactly.
So if you as an agency, like, so originally when I got started, I was like, I need to be really, really good at Facebook ads, which is like not really, 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 really true.
Yeah, I
there
don't
are
agree with that.
people like Reach Local or white label providers that are already really, really good at Facebook ads that can do better than you, and you don't have to have this like learning curve of doing
Right.
yourself, right?
I think also though is your timing, right? So like if you started 5 years ago, maybe then you thought that was the case because maybe the proliferation of these white label agencies weren't enough. So
Correct.
for example, when I started, I knew I didn't want to do the ads. Math and numbers is not how my brain works. My brain is the opposite. It's like a creative brain. So like
Yeah.
analytical numbers and stuff would never fall in line with me, right? So when I watched Dave, for example, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I can easily do this. I can
Yeah.
resonate and communicate in that way. I need to find someone that can do the numbers. So I ended up just hiring people like Jeff Miller's and other programs and groups.
Yeah.
And they dropped the ball because we didn't have a system or process, and every single result would be completely different, even
Right.
though the same. I'm hiring only attorneys. I'm only bringing on attorneys. So what's the issue? Why are we not getting it? We had no
Right.
system or process. So bringing on a real team with a real system and a real process allowed me to get where I need to be. The problem with people starting now and learning how to do ads, it's just like there's people in other countries around the world that will charge way less than you and get better results than you. So why are
Right.
you doing this?
So why
don't you
pick
learn
that fight, right?
Yeah. Why don't you choose something that you're going to be more effective in?
So I think that's the biggest difference between people who are new and people who are veterans. Like the new people say, I need to be really, really good at Facebook ads, and they're going to be fighting a very, very hard fight. And hell, maybe one of the 1,000 people ends up being the next like number one Facebook
like
ads
legend.
guy,
Yeah.
right? But I'm not 1 out of 1,000, right? I just know I'm not like top tier. And I remember when I was posting in Dan Hender's groups my results, I was always dead last. Like I had the highest cost per lead and the worst results.
Funny.
And like what was interesting is like my ads would still work because I had like the soap opera sequences, notifications. All that. Facebook ads are just one of the offer, one part of like an offer that works. But looking back, I should have said, you know what, that's probably a bad idea. My advantage is actually being close as I can possibly to my customers, to my clients, and then finding a person to put the tile down or do the electrical or like just subcontractor.
Exactly.
So for people who just started watching this, you don't have to be great at Facebook ads. You can pay somebody a lot smarter than you to do that and get better results.
So I think the reason why people get worked up and their initial reason to what we're saying, Jeff, is like, but like, how do I sell that? How do I sell something
I'm
like
not good at?
Imposter syndrome. So start with imposter syndrome first of all. Like, reason with your mind what imposter syndrome means. It means you're a person of integrity. It means that you won't go out there and just sell someone for any means necessary, by any means necessary to just make your money. The reason that you feel you have imposter syndrome is because you're offering something that you can't yourself fulfill. But you're missing out on the value of bringing someone to a point where they feel comfortable to make an investment with you and then providing them the service however you provide them. Like, are you upset if you go to Subway and the person that you pays you, like you pay them, is not the person that made your sandwich? That's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. It's the person that connected it, right? It's
a general contractor for the construction crew or something.
Exactly. There's always the middleman or process in the middle, but having imposter syndrome just means you're a person of integrity. It doesn't mean that you want to sell something outside of integrity.
So I'm trying to imagine a phrase that'll transition my imposter syndrome brain to like I can sell a thing. So like in my sales process, or sorry, in my sales conversation, my pitch, do I say like, and I'm bringing a great team that's gonna get your Facebook ads, or
my team
that's gonna bring on the
it's my team.
So I've got a team that's going to fulfill the Facebook ads contract so you get results that you want.
Exactly. Like we have different structures in the business. This is a great example, right? Especially for both of us, and everyone will resonate with this. I get people asking me a lot for like one-on-one coaching. They're like, Alex, like I just want to let you know I don't want to do group coaching. And I'm like, you want to like expand on that? Like, why don't you want to do it?
Tell me why.
Tell me why, right? And they would say like, well, I just want really personal time. I want mentorship. I want accountability. I want that. I'm like, okay, we can give all of you that in a group setting too. Here's the truth, right? If I was only able to provide one-on-one coaching, first of all, I'm limiting myself to a ceiling. I can't duplicate or clone myself. Off camera, we were talking about some of those ideas, and maybe we'll get there. But obviously, we can't do that yet. So if we can't multiply myself, that means I have a certain limitation.
Correct.
If you're hiring me to help you build a business where you can help and have other people that you hire to do certain things, how would it make sense working with me one-on-one only?
Right. There's no way you can do every part of business.
It would be impossible, right? It would be impossible. It's the same thing that when you work with someone, if someone tells you like, well, I wanted to hire someone in-house, why would I work with you? It's all, okay, you need to find someone that's great at Facebook ad creation, great with design, great with strategy, great with optimization, great with X, Y, and Z. Hiring someone of that will be at least like $120,000 the whole year. Not to mention, also the reality is that you have to pay for the ads too. Instead, you just pay us. We have a whole team that does it for you. Not just me. I'm the salesperson. I'm the project manager. And then I have my great team, Marissa and Chelsea and blah, 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 who runs the ads for us.
And those are just people at your subcontracting company, right? Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's how you deal with like your brain of imposter syndrome, which is like fine, great, perfect. You're supposed to have that. Because guess what? You're not good at Facebook ads. And you could, but you're probably going to set yourself for losing because you have to like, what's that learning curve, like 12, 18 months, and shit always changes. And you can't focus on it because you have to focus
Facebook is hard too. It's always changing.
Correct.
And they're always changing things, and it's going to change more. I feel, especially with last year and the whole, disaster of what's happened, there's no doubt in the next 5-10 years that Facebook will be regulated more than it is currently from the United States government. It's got to be.
So what I like right now is like, I'm just going to flip the script, and instead of saying they're going to take 400 out of 1,000, I'm going to say your subcontractor is going to charge you $600. And you're going to have the best Facebook ads person in the world.
Exactly.
Like that's perfect, right?
100%. But the model of sales, right? Like that's where it comes down to. Like, how do I sell this if I don't know how to do it myself? That's the biggest problem that people have. How do I sell something that I don't do myself, right? So the model of how you sell something without doing it themselves is actually understanding what you're providing, not how you provide it, what you provide. The larger scale, it's not we do 72 ad sets with 36 split tests and 25 different optimizations with pictures and videos. We provide is a solution for lead generation, providing you more opportunity. Now, here's the highest level of this service that you can provide and the most value I can share on this call, besides for the prospecting process, the sales process, understanding what clients really want and need. Here's, like we said before, right? We talked about in the last live before we got cut off, the idea of solving the real deep-rooted issue, not the surface level problem. Here's the surface level problem, and you would understand this. Surface level problem is I need more business. I need more leads. Here's the real deep-rooted issue. They have absolutely no methodology for bringing on warm, cold, any sort of lead except referral. And converting that into a client.
Correct. So
you work with a gym and you say, I'm going to bring you that problem. I'm going to fix that problem, which is lead generation. That's the surface level problem. At the end of the month, you sent them 300 leads. You're like, oh my God, I'm so excited. Go to the reporting conversation. They're like, Isn't this awesome? We sent you 300 leads. They're like, no one paid us anything.
We didn't call back because the first 3 were bad and this is all
Yeah,
shitty. And
we didn't know what to do. You
yeah.
didn't tell us what to do. Like, we don't even know how to handle it. We didn't get any of them. You're fired, right?
Yeah.
And you go from, but I got the leads, right? The reality is of what most people need is an entire productivity solution
Yeah.
for prospecting and sales. Attorneys go to school. They go to law school for fulfillment, to learn how to go to court and be a trial attorney,
Yeah.
how to, put in
Which is all the way
documents and
down
everything.
here.
Right.
Yeah.
All the way at the end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
They don't get taught how to hire people and how to bring on paralegals and all that. They don't know how to generate leads, especially in the new day, right?
Yeah.
Especially now. They don't know how to sell leads appropriately and correctly. They just know what other people have taught them on the side.
Yeah.
Meaning they don't really have a model. What I do for Sky Social Media, and this is what really transitioned everything. When I worked with Reach Local and I lost the original clients I had, probably the 10 clients, it was because we were providing them with a solution to what we thought they needed.
Yeah.
What we thought they needed was leads, right? Brought them leads, got them calls, and they're like, no, they're terrible. They didn't work, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So what was really the issue? They didn't have a follow-up process. They don't know how to do anything. They don't even have a CRM. They were still writing things down on paper and putting it in binders.
Yep.
Instead of putting it on a CRM. So I teamed up with actually a company here in Miami, Practice Panther. They're a CRM just for attorneys.
Yeah.
So what I provide is not just a solution for prospecting and lead gen, and I use this in my sales. I don't know how to use Practice Panther, but I'm expressing I know what the actual pain point is and how to solve it, which is, Jeff, as the attorney, I'm not here just to get you more leads. Really, you don't need more leads. You need an entire productivity solution for prospecting and sales, for marketing and sales. We're going to not only provide you the leads, we're going to put them into a CRM that makes it really easy to follow up. We're also going to have an automated sequence that's going to follow up with them for you. We're going to show you how to transition a lead from interested to customer or bad fit and what to do in that format, so you have a real comprehensive system for actual marketing.
So that's the difference between the nurture offer, prospecting offer, and then your sales offer, right?
That's the sales
That's
offer.
the sales offer. You
Exactly.
don't bring that stuff up in the nurture. Like, don't
Hell
send
no.
any, like, hey, you want a CRM? That's not a nurture, right?
No, they're not going to. So here's a good one. Not, hey, do you want a CRM? It's, hey, do you have a CRM? The problem with most people is they don't even know what CRM is.
Yeah.
So like usually I'll just say like a word similar to it. Like, do you have a client management system?
Yeah.
Are you writing everything on paper?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a productivity solution? Do you feel like you're effective with your time? Like, those are the types of nurture questions I'd ask to get logically formatted towards the sales offer. You want your nurture offer, your prospecting offer, and your sales offer to have some sort of fluidity, but have very different models. So the question could lead to a logical prospecting offer, which would lead to a logical sales offer.
So is the prospecting offer really about getting your foot in the door? Or is it about identifying a problem that your sales offer could solve?
The prospecting offer is very specifically getting someone on a call, providing them value.
Gotcha.
Now, that should somewhat engage the sales offer. So for example, let's use a sample that wouldn't work. If you were to go out there and offer, just for simplicity, a competitor's analysis, right? And then your offer has nothing to do with the competition analysis, right? So like, let's say on the analysis, we're on the call right now live. You're like, yeah, I'm excited for this competitor's analysis. I'm like, well, look at these 5 competitors. They're all doing SEO really well, and they're doing ads on Google. So what I want to offer you is Facebook messages. Like, I'll do a post for you on Facebook.
Doesn't make any sense.
Huh? It needs to be logical, right? So if I ask as my nurture offer, hey, do you have a CRM or client management system or a productivity system? Like, no. Okay, great. Can I show you my cure method for a CRM implementation, blah, blah, blah? Yeah, let's get on a call. Prospecting offer. Get on the call, show it to them. Do you want this? Let me show you how I can do it for you. Here's our sales offer.
So when you mentioned earlier about like, you do the competitor analysis, SEO and all that, and then you're leading to like social media and marketing, right?
Yeah,
like there was a big break, right?
Huge break.
But could you do it like a proper transition, say like, all your top competitors are doing SEO, and you know what? I looked this up. The competitor analysis says they're paying about $100, $300, $400 a phone call. Can you afford that? There's no way in hell, right? So I'm going to show you a new system.
That works too.
Gotcha.
It's all
that
about
would
the
be
frame.
Facebook ads.
It's all about the frame, but think about it logically, right? That's a great method. But do you think that will have the same impact? Will it have the impact in terms of however we frame it? Like we can easily sit here, Jeff, and talk about a frame like, this is what all your competitors are doing, so we're going to do something different because it's better. Or this is all what your competitors are doing. We're going to do the exact same thing, just better than they do it.
Gotcha.
Both are valuable. Right. But it's all about the frame. If you don't frame it and you're like, this is what everyone's doing, let's do this. Instead, they're like, why?
Right.
If you get the why question, you've screwed it up. You've lost the opportunity.
Interesting.
Right.
So like was this like the 4 or 5 like steps? Was this how you build your agency with Skyreach, right?
Yeah. Sky Social Media.
Sky
Reach
Social.
Local.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Or looking back, you realize like what went
I figured
wrong.
It, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It wasn't like I figured this out from day one. It wasn't like, oh, I got it. Here's the nurture.
Like this is perfect now. Yeah.
It actually wasn't even until after I created Prospecting on Demand. And then I started really thinking in more frameworks and theories. I'll share why, and this will be a really great transition into sales. I studied psychology. I love human psychology. I love some of these books you have here.
Yeah.
I just love how the human mind works and how we think, and like I love like influencing and persuasion and sales. It's powerful, it's exciting, and valuable. I'm super interested in human psychology in terms of how people interact with one another. I think that's a really powerful thing. It's called social psychology, right? So I studied social psychology a lot in college, and one of the very famous social psychologists is psychoanalysis, right? And that's Sigmund Freud, how we communicate with people, and it's very interesting, like how we have ego and id and all this stuff. There's another really famous psychoanalyst called Eric Berne. He's not as famous as Sigmund Freud, obviously, but he's from the 1950s, and he created this sales framework called transactional analysis. Now, he didn't consider it a sales framework, but I did when I read it. And this
So is that his version of like when you mentioned cure? Like the cool way of like phrasing transaction. That's the same thing.
Same thing, right? He could be like, this is my long-term, like long name, like X, Y, and Z. It's kind of like a chemical equation, right? You could say all this chemical equation, or you could say this is table salt.
Yeah.
Right? Like
gotcha.
this is chlorine and nitrogen and this and this. You're like, what?
It's just salt. Yeah.
It's just salt.
Gotcha.
Right?
Okay.
It's like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
So that's a great example. So I started to become thinking in frameworks and recognize human beings think in frameworks. There's actually a thing in psychology called this. It's called a heuristic, right? So representative heuristic means like, the closest thing to what you're looking at right now is what your mind would think. So you're going to think of a mug, or you're going to think of white or wood. Or
is that why when
pots.
I meet people, I go, I've met a guy like that, my old friend named Mike. That's new Mike.
Exactly. Yeah. It's your brain creating a shortcut.
Yeah.
Right? So we create these themes in our thought processes in our brains through frames, and that's how I coach. That's how I created this model of like sales, nurture offer, prospecting offer, sales offer.
Gotcha.
How to create a 5-step prospecting system, a 7-step formula for irresistible offer.
Yeah.
The one call close framework. Not just like, here's my sales process. Right? Here's my prospecting process.
Gotcha.
Here's my specific methods in frames. So like a good one is this sales one, and it's called transactional analysis, the PAC framework.
Yeah.
And it's identifying how, when you're speaking to someone, you're speaking to 3 people all at once. The parent, the adult, and the child, PAC.
In one person.
In one person.
Gotcha.
And this is what you have to do in sales. You have to overcome those 3 things. So a parent is naturally a skeptic. How do you overcome skepticism? Show them proof. An adult thinks logically, at least we hope. Right?
Yeah.
At least we hope. Adult is a logical framework. So now we have to have a proven process and system. It's not just random, not just throwing shit against the wall. Proven, we're dart players. We're going to get closer to that bullseye every time through our perfect prospecting system, through the cure method, through the fact method. 1, 2, 3 steps, achieved goal, right? Logical framework.
Yeah.
And then finally is the child. And this is where most marketers shine, and what they're selling is the childlike dream. That beautiful video, it's like the sun is shining, you're on the beach, you're on a boat.
Imagine what your life would be like.
Exactly. The childlike dream. Now for us and for most marketers and entrepreneurs, it's time and financial freedom.
Yeah.
Now we spoke way earlier about clarity and ambiguity. This is the problem. Most people have ambiguity on this. What does success mean to you? What is time freedom? What is financial freedom? Identify those things. But you don't have to identify them in sales. You just have to clarify that's what you want. So Jeff, do you want to have time freedom and financial freedom? Great, that's what we can do. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you want that?
Right.
Great. Now we have a model. Now we have a process. This is a framework. And this is how I've created these models. It really started from that transactional analysis. I read about it when I was doing social psychology in college. And then I started creating it from that when I created Prospecting on Demand, the coaching program.
Interesting.
And I thought like, everything should be frameworks. Everything. And once I can realize like it just falls into easier to understand models, that's exactly where I came from with these models of creating every single type of thing I do is always a system, right? Like Becker, for example, I watched a video he did, and he might have done this without even recognizing it. He did a video with Cruzy about hiring, right? And he's like, here's my, I don't remember exactly, but it was like, here's my 6-step hiring process. That's a framework, right? That's a framework.
Oh, I
do
remember
this
that.
first,
Yeah,
and then I
the
do
video.
this, and then I do this, and then I do this, right? I have the same thing. Mine's 8-step, right? But it's a framework because it makes it easier to say rather than here's my hiring process.
Yeah.
Here's my 8-step hiring process.
Yeah.
It might be even better if I say here's my elite hiring process.
Here's my
right?
ACT hiring process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the model.
Interesting. So you
It's
can apply
powerful.
that. Can you apply that to like your pitch itself? Like
100%. It needs to be.
Yeah.
And it's great in
like
in
that's
your,
how you define your branded program, because you don't just say
Exactly.
it's like the fun program. You're like,
That's why you created ASS. Like
Yeah.
literally, that's why I might have not thought about it, but that's what the framework is. It
Yeah.
creates a unique perspective on something.
interesting. So I've got the wallet out, ready by button the seat customer campaign, 7 steps,
Yep.
right? And so my prospecting offers, like I'll show you the 30-day, how other businesses just like yours, 30 days or less.
Yep.
I've got an onboarding process,
Yep.
right? So then I show them how businesses do it, right? And that's a sales process, and it's got the name and the definition, all that fun stuff.
Exactly.
And then I move into the close, right? So if somebody's just starting out, and they have a prospecting problem, are there 2 or 3 things that they should be doing on a daily basis? Because I talk about my AIP chart. There you go, right? And it's from John Loger. He was my first real business coach, and he's
John.
like, you got to do these 4 things. If you don't do them, you're not going to make any money. End of discussion.
Yep.
I do those 4 things, and I shot up to $42K a month. I was like, well, that was easy, right?
Yep,
Less than like
exactly.
4 months, it was like insane. So if somebody's got a prospecting problem, what do you recommend to solve the prospecting problem? Not the sales problem that I think they have, but the prospecting problem.
So again, go back to the definition of the 3 core processes for prospecting.
Yeah.
We've got a response, we've got a call, and we close the deal.
Yeah.
Which process are you struggling on right now? Now that's what you have to do: reflection and optimization, and through tracking.
Yeah.
So if you look back in the last month and you've had 5 total sales calls,
Yeah.
I would say that is clearly a problem of getting people on a call. Now, when you go backwards, how are you converting people on a call?
Right.
Are you asking them something different every single time? Well, you can't really learn from that. So now we need to make a better prospecting offer.
Yeah.
If you've had no responses, you just cannot get people on a call. You had like 1 call because like your friend told you like, hey, let's jump on a call.
Yeah.
You can't get any responses and you're like, oh my God, it's so frustrating. Start
Right.
asking questions. Start creating a new, unique nurture offer.
Interesting.
Something that can relate then to the prospecting offer.
Yeah.
You have to understand really what the core issue is. And this is why we're talking about frames, right? If you just ask me, Jeff, like, how does someone that's brand new start out and fix a prospecting problem? I
Yeah.
could just say like a bunch of stuff like, oh, like
Run ads
go
or
out there,
cold
yeah,
email or
exactly.
blah,
Do
blah, blah.
do
Yeah.
email, go on LinkedIn, do this. Instead, it's like, here's a framework.
Yeah.
So that your brain can understand this simpler.
Yeah.
Simplify the model. Everything that I try to do is simplification.
Interesting.
That's everything.
So if somebody's more advanced and they're already doing like cold emailing or chamber of commerce
Yep.
or Facebook ads or whatever, and they're generating, let's just say like 5 appointments, like they're getting
Per week or
responses,
or
5
per
appointments a week, right?
Yeah, okay, that's good.
And like they're on the phone and blah blah blah, but they have a closing problem.
Yes.
Right. So like, how do you like diagnose and understand that scenario? Right.
Love that. So I record every single sales call
Yep.
still to this day.
I do too the same.
It's critical. I'm telling you this just point blank. Listening to your sales call sucks.
It's so painful.
terrible.
It's like, why would I say that?
It's terrible, but it's powerful. So I'm going to give you a couple things here with sales that I think are really powerful. This is probably my best skill, like naturally, like my natural best skill. And some people have that natural skill and some people need to work it. And that's
Yeah.
okay. When I was doing interviews for the Miami Dolphins and the UFC, I recorded everyone and then transcribed it.
Yep.
Worst job in the entire world. So I had to listen back to my shitty questions
Yep.
and write down what I was saying and then write down
What
what
type
they were
of
saying,
idiot would ever
right?
ask that question?
And
Yeah.
then it would get the same type of response all the time, like, yep, it's this and that, right? Like you can see they're frustrated.
Yeah.
And when I would listen back to it, I can hear it in their voice that they're frustrated. I didn't really get that in the moment, but I did on the retrospect.
Yeah.
That was actually the beginning of me understanding how valuable it is to record calls.
Yeah.
Because when I started going into sales, naturally I would record it and listen back to it and figure out what I can do better. So in the interview style, when I would listen back to it, I thought, okay, let me ask different questions. Psychology is really unique and fun to talk about.
Yeah.
No one asks those questions in sports, so I start talking about those things,
Yeah.
right? I start asking those types of questions. Now suddenly the answers to my questions are, that's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten that one today. And I'm like, hey,
Like,
I'm getting
progress.
better.
Yeah.
I'm getting better, right? So the next model, right, for me in sales was, first of all, record every single call you do.
Yeah.
Second, have a framework for it. Do not just say random shit. Do not just ask random questions.
Right.
Have a framework of what you're doing. We can go through my frames here in just a minute, but go through a real framework. Have a real process. Don't just randomly do things.
Right.
When you listen back, this is how I do it. And I close my eyes for this one because it's really powerful. I like to think of sales as this sort of allegory. You are holding the lead's hand in a very deep, dark forest. Neither of you have a flashlight. Every single question that you ask, there's a chance for multiple different answers, and you might lose their hand.
Yeah.
The goal is when you listen back to the call, where did you lose the hand?
Yeah.
What question was it? And
Where did you
can
get the why?
identify it. Exactly. Where did you lose them? Where did you lose them in the forest?
Yeah.
A successful sales call, you walk them through the entire forest. At the end, it's a clear light, and they're ready to pay you.
Yeah.
That's the model. So I always listen back to the calls and try to identify it. I also offer audits to my team, to my clients,
Right.
because sometimes it's hard to self-reflect and identify because you have such a bias. Like you
Yeah.
really felt like emotionally attached to it. One thing I always recommend is not listening to the call right afterwards. You have too much emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
Usually I'll listen to it the next day or later that week, or put in a time block for multiple sales call reviews.
Yeah.
So that you can get better at it. I also do it on positive ones too. If I get a call that's like done,
Yeah.
closed it right away, and it was really easy, it's what happened on this call. I want to identify something I could have done. Obviously,
Yeah.
human beings are all different and unique. It might have been that person, but it also might have been something I did or said that I can see it in their eyes.
Yeah.
I always record also my calls on Zoom. So I have the visual aspect, 3 core tenets for sales, right? Always frames, Visual,
Yeah.
number one. Most people immediately remove that because they do phone calls.
Yeah.
The words that you say and then the tonality in which you say them.
Yeah.
Right? Those are really powerful. And then I'm always following with that model, trying to identify what can I improve.
So when you say you got to keep everything the same, you just don't like randomly ask questions. Does that mean you have like a sales sheet that you go through?
Beautiful question. I'm so glad you asked that. So a lot of people, I think, fall into this robotic sales method. Like,
Yeah.
Jeff, how many clients do you have? Okay. How much revenue do you make?
Right.
What's your goal?
What's your customer lifetime value?
Right, exactly. Just question.
Yeah.
This is not a Q&A.
Right.
Sales is a conversation. It's a service. You're trying to help someone and identify if you can fit in their model and work with them.
Yeah.
If not, then why do you have imposter syndrome? Because if you had imposter syndrome, obviously you give a shit about the person.
Right.
And if you're just going to do question and answer randomly,
don't give a shit.
then you don't give a shit.
Right.
So why have imposter syndrome? Just go out there and sell. Obviously, don't do that.
Right.
But you get the idea, right? That's the idea. That's the entire model. So what do we do? Like, what do we do to efficiently fix these problems in sales effectively? Like I said, you record it. You go backwards. You really have to implement and understand what's going on, no matter where you're at advanced or beginner.
Yeah.
If you're not recording your calls and listening backwards, you're gonna fail.
Yeah. So you have like your sales process, like, is it literally like a series of questions? Because this is what I do. So I have my onboarding questions. Say like, I'm gonna ask you 15 questions. At the end of this, I'm gonna see if I can get you the result that you want. Show you a plan, how much it costs me and get started. They go, great. So I ask them a couple questions, but it always feels like an appropriately friendly doctor that's like, tell me about your need. Did you break that in college? Or is like, oh, okay, that's fun. Sports, blah blah blah. Let's go
Right.
back to your femur. And then like
Yes.
you have like,
So here's how I do it.
yeah,
So I used to, and this is a good transition. This is good to understand kind of the lessons that I've learned, right?
Yeah.
When I started prospecting on demand, I started it with frames and providing a script.
Yeah.
Problem is with script, you come off like robotic telemarketer.
Correct, yeah.
Right? So then I change it from script to frames. And that change was hard for a lot of my clients. They got really concerned that they're going to botch something.
Yeah.
The reality is you're not going to botch something if you have just the understanding of the frame. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Time and result frame is the way I start every call. I'll give you the 2 ways I start every call. Let's do one here, for example, for everyone. Hey, Jeff, really appreciate you taking the time today. We're going to chat probably 40 to 45 minutes. I'm going to ask you some questions about your business. If there's a fit for us to work together, I'd be more than happy to make you an offer at the end of this call. Only, again, if there's a fit. If not, ultimately, my mission on this call is to provide you the right tools, insight, accountability, support that you need to achieve the goals you have in 2019. Is that fair?
sounds great.
Now, that's a time and result frame. Now, if we just split tested time and we're able to go back 30 seconds, what
Yeah.
I just said, likely that I changed up a couple things.
Yeah.
in
Like, so
words,
instead of
right?
45 minutes, you say
I might have
35.
said 50.
Yeah.
I might have said my mission is to have tools instead of support. Like,
Yeah.
it just changes a little bit, but the words don't matter. It's the frame that matters.
Yeah.
Right? Otherwise, if I read it in a format and it was like, hi, Jeff, I am going, it's like,
Gotcha.
ugh,
Okay,
it comes off
okay.
so bad.
Yeah.
So then the next question I always ask, this is incredibly important. If you are not doing this, please do this. If you're not doing this,
Yeah.
please do this. Why are you on this call, Jeff?
Yeah.
Why did you take time out of your day to spend with me, an internet stranger, frankly?
Yeah.
What are you here for? I want to make sure I provide it for you. I don't want to make sure we waste our
So
time.
what's funny is like on the 15th out of my 15 questions, I say, all right, so why are we here? And what result are you looking for?
That's the last question?
Yeah.
So I like to do it as the first because if it's
okay.
the first question, then you can save time. Like, how many tire kickers do you go through 40 minutes? And they're like, I just kind of want to see what the price is.
Hasn't happened to me yet, but that's because I meet people in person first.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah.
But I get so many people telling me like, oh, I got 50 minutes in and they had a decision maker problem or they weren't ready to make an offer or anything.
Yeah.
I'm like, ask them why they're on the call.
Yeah.
Right away when you get on the call, you really can also measure their interest. Like, oh, like I'm desperate, I need this now, or I'm kind of looking,
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of times, like someone will come to me and be like, I'm looking for it. I'm gonna actually take a trip for 2 months, but I think I need something when I come back. I'm like, well, then why don't we just chat when you come back?
Yeah.
Right? Like we can save 50 minutes right now. Let's
Yeah.
just chat when you come back.
Interesting.
So I love that method. I think that's really powerful. But yeah, I do not give scripts anymore.
Gotcha.
It's just one call framework.
Yeah.
One call close framework. And my entire framework comes down to 3 W's. Again, you can see it's always frameworks. 3 W's. Where are you now?
Yeah.
Where do you want to be? What's the obstacle holding you back?
Yeah.
Now this is really powerful. Let's use an example here. So Jeff, right now you have 10 clients. You
Yeah.
want to double that to 20.
Correct.
And the obstacle really has been you don't have enough time because you're so enveloped in the business that you don't have a system that you can delegate. Is that right?
Yeah, it's like I spend too much time with my agency clients working on my business,
Yep.
and not enough time trying to prospect and get more clients trying to buy from me.
Perfect. Now
Yeah.
I can go into the offer and express like, hey, I can help you. Do you want my help? Yes, I want your help. That
Yeah.
commitment's important. Then another just really good value add here for a second is Also ask them to confirm that they'll make a yes or no decision.
Yeah.
Maybes are the worst in sales.
Yeah.
Like, hey, like Jeff, I know I can help you. Like I said on the beginning of the call, I would never make an offer if I didn't believe I could.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. I'm going to tell you about what we do here on this method, that specific method, let's say
Yeah.
the Cure method, because I want to help you and I want to help you grow and I know I can.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you to do one thing for me. Give me a yes or a no at the end of this. No, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes is if you think this is the right fit. No, if it's not the right fit, that's okay.
So the last check that I just joined, don't say the guy's name, like he did the same exact thing to me, and only now do I realize it. Like he asked me like 5 or 6 questions.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure it was off screen, like outside of like his screen, like it was a second screen. Just kind of running through them, no big deal. Like we're gonna spend 5 minutes at the end of it. I'm show you how this works and ask you to join or not. Sound good? I was like, great. So he asked me the 5 questions that are literally, what's your income now? Where do you want to be? And why aren't you there yet?
Right.
And for me, it was really like finding a way to webinar correctly.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I can show you how to do it. Here's how it works. And he just starts drawing on a whiteboard.
Simplicity.
And I was like, this is too effective. This is too effective because this is what I do to my clients.
Exactly.
And he's doing it to me. And at the end of it, he said, all right, now you have to make a choice. Are you ready to make a choice? I was like, yes. Are you in or are you out?
Yep.
You have to make a decision right now.
Yeah.
And what was funny is like I paused for like 30 seconds. He's like, what is it going to be? I was like, fine.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, especially when you're starting, and this is important to say, you're going to botch that part. You're going to feel uncomfortable. It's not
Yeah.
going to come off confident. They're going to get upset at you because you feel like you're too aggressive. It will take you time.
Yeah.
But if you're afraid to walk into that uncomfortable, you're never going to get a sale. You'll
Correct.
get the, let me think about it. Let's get a proposal.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of dumbass objections that you don't need to deal with. So
Yeah.
that's my model, right? So I was going back to the 3 W's. This is why it's so powerful. If someone says no to you on a call, which is fine, that's possible. It's going to happen no matter what you do. If they say no, you're like, hey, like, I appreciate it, but I just don't think this is the right fit. Hey,
Yep.
no worries. I appreciate you telling me no.
Yep.
Instead of asking me for a proposal and let me go think about it. Like, thank you for just being honest.
Yep.
I'll circle back with you in a little bit.
Perfect.
Let's say now you wrote down the 3 W's that they had on that call. That converts the entire 40-minute qualifying into just those important 3 W's,
Correct.
right? Come back to them in 60, 90 days. Hey, Jeff, how you doing, bro? Let's get on a call. Get on a call.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, 30, 60, 90 days ago, we were here,
Yeah.
and you wanted to go here, and the obstacle
you
is
there
this.
yet?
Where you at?
Same spot I was
Same
before.
spot. Bro, like, that sucks to hear.
Yeah.
Let's fix that.
And even if I was making progress, your response could be, well, we can get you there faster.
Right?
Yeah.
And if they're there already, good for fucking them. I'm
Yep.
happy for them. That's the idea behind this.
Yeah.
But most people are not gonna
So you have like your whole like sales process, right? So you got the nurturing offer, and maybe you have like one before, but it's nurturing offer. Get them on the phone,
Yep.
provide some value, solve their problem, and move them into the sales pitch or the sales offer.
In
right?
one call.
In one call, great.
call.
And so the whole sales offer is essentially like you've got a framework for asking questions.
Yep.
You say, where are you? Where do you want to be? And this is what I can do to help get you there.
Yep.
Are you in or are you out? And we're brushing over this, but there's more depth
Obviously.
and detail, right?
Yes.
But let's say somebody says yes, which is like simultaneously the excitement and fear that I always have, and everybody has like, oh my god, I just got kind of like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now, right? So like, what's
Get
your
paid.
thought process about somebody says yes, and then what happens?
Get
right?
paid.
Get
Right
paid.
now.
Yeah.
Right there.
Just
Right
take the
then.
credit card over the phone.
100%.
I'm ready to take payment when you are. Like,
Unfortunately, Jeff, and I think you've experienced this before, we're people of integrity.
Yeah.
People that watch this video are people of integrity. Not everyone is that way.
Yeah.
A lot of people will say yes or no just to get you off the call.
Correct.
Like I've had this happen before. Like, all right, we're in. Like, let's get your credit card. Oh, like I have it over here. Like, send me the link and I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
They're gone. They ghost. They didn't have the audacity to just say like no.
Right.
Which sucks.
Yep.
But it's part of it. Just some people are scared to. Whatever. It happens. Get paid then. Right then and there only.
Yeah.
Now people get like worked up over contracts and everything. Listen, if your offer right now is not $10,000, you're not going to court
Nope.
for anything under that.
if they
frankly.
stop paying you, it's not gonna just let them stop
That's
paying
it.
you.
It's done.
Yeah.
It's done anyways. You're not going to hunt them down.
Yeah.
I know it sucks losing a couple grand. I've had that happen a lot.
Yeah.
Both in my agency and coaching program. I'm sure you've dealt with
Yep.
that too. It's part of the game. It sucks. It's unfortunate, but we learn from it as best as we possibly can.
Yeah.
To try to identify who's the right person. But you got to get paid then.
So you get paid is like, hey, I'm ready to start. Great. Give me your credit card right now and process payment. And then
Yeah.
we'll have a, like, what's it after that?
Yeah, onboarding. So like
Gotcha.
we're gonna do a kickoff. That's how I do my models.
Call them
Always
kickoff calls or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's from the agency model. That's where I hand off. Now I
Yeah.
don't do sales for the agency model anymore, thank God.
Yeah.
But I hand it off at that point. I would hand it off to someone on Reach Local that I paid
Gotcha.
to do the calls.
Like officially part of Reach Local, or like you're paying them extra to take
Both.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's officially part of Reach Local, but that's not part of their offer to me.
Yeah.
So I paid her to get an additional email. So Margo at Prospecting on Demand or Sky Social Media instead of Margo at Reach Local.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to send you there and you're going to do the kickoff call.
Gotcha.
Who's better to do the kickoff call than
Than
the
the
person that's
actual-
doing the actual ads?
Gotcha.
So that's what I do. And I created an SOP, standard operating procedure, called the Retention Automation SOP.
Yeah.
Communication.
Everything's
is
an
really-
acronym, Alex.
Always,
Everything's
bro.
an acronym.
Always, bro. Always. The frameworks are just powerful.
Yeah.
When I do like communication with clients, what I want to have happen is they go through a process that they feel like they're being communicated with, and they know exactly how to do it. So I send off first a kickoff guide.
Yeah.
I do this in my programs.
You send this to your white label provider.
White label provider and direct to the client.
Gotcha.
So the kickoff guide is just like, hey, welcome to this program, Cure Method, Prospecting on Demand Elite, Ask Fam.
Yeah.
Welcome. Here's why you're here.
Yeah.
Here's what we do. Here's the SLA, service level agreement, and here's the expectation.
And that's just a Google Doc. Doesn't have to be fancy or
does
PDF.
not have to be fancy.
Gotcha.
Mine's not fancy. It has a logo at the top.
Yeah.
That's it. And the reason we do that is because this allows us to avoid like someone calling you right now. Like, hey, Jeff, I need you right now. Like, well, you see on that kickoff guide where it says email us and we'll get back to you in 24 hours?
Yeah.
That's how you communicate with us,
Interesting.
right? Like, I work with people that are at like 130 grand in recurring revenue. And the people on this live are like, what? How's it possible? They're working from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. How's that? Why? Because they don't have any systems or processes. They just know how to make a lot of money.
PMing back and
right?
forth.
And just like, unlimited random calls.
Yeah.
Unlimited texts. Like, I'm watching, Game of Thrones with my family. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm calling you. Doesn't matter. Without a kickoff guide or SLA, like you're screwed.
Gotcha.
So that's my first model. And then we do onboarding, kind of going through the kickoff guide and expressing the service and what we do and all
so
that.
if somebody says yes, they pay you money, you immediately say, awesome, thank you for paying. Here's your kickoff guide.
Yep.
And then you send one to your white label provider as well.
Yep, so they
and
have
then
it.
They both know what to do and how to do it. It removes that variable.
Exactly.
Right?
So ideally, it's the same one every time. That's the value of niching, right? Like if you don't, then you have to make new proposal. You have to make a new kickoff guide. You have to do a model. So I have a way of scaling, either horizontal scaling or vertical scaling.
Yeah.
The best way to teach and coach new people is vertical scaling.
Yeah.
Pick one niche, one
do it
offer,
again and again
one
and
method,
again. Yeah.
get to 10K or wherever you feel comfortable, and then decide, is this my long-term goal or am I zip-locking it? Am I done with it? That's what I chose to do.
Yeah.
I chose to zip-lock. I chose to not bring on any more attorney clients. I didn't want it.
Yeah.
And then I horizontal scaled.
Yeah.
Either move on to the next vertical, either in a niche or in an offer. I changed my offer.
Yeah.
The offer went from a social media agency to a coaching company.
Interesting.
Right? Now, let's say if I chose not to do the coaching agency, the horizontal scale could have been, let me work with dentists now.
Yeah.
And then scale that to 10K.
So that's
and
kind
the
of
horizontal
like
scale will be the next one.
Like you see electricians that are like really good at being electricians, and then they stay as electricians. That's like vertical scaling, right?
Yep.
They just keep saying electricians.
Yep.
Then there are electricians that become, I know to do the plumbing and the plastering. Then they become general contractors, right? So that's like expanding.
Exactly.
Right?
Now
Okay,
we're in
that's
the horizontal model. Now we
Gotcha.
can, and then we could scale either individually. That like great example, Alex Hanna, right? Attorney here.
Yeah.
He started as a criminal attorney.
Yeah.
Now when you look at his billboard, it says every single thing: family law, DUI, criminal.
I'll do
accident,
whatever. Pay me
right?
money. Yeah.
He starts with the first one, and then he horizontal scales.
Interesting.
That's the model.
So somebody pays you money, onboarding call, all that. Then the subcontractor takes care of it.
Yep.
With your program, and like, do you have acronyms for your agency? Like what you do in exchange for money, like the wallet out? Do you have like your own version of that for like the agency? Like the. So I've got like the wallet out.
In terms of the offer.
Yeah, so like I've got the wallet out ready.
That's like the Cure Method, Fact Method.
Correct.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah. So you got the Cure Method. So my wallet out campaign, like one of them is the Facebook ads.
Yep.
Then we've got like the customer research, and then we've got the soap opera sequence and landing page and all that. Do you hope to find someone who can do all of that, or do you just take that best performing offer and then find more clients like that?
So mine for personal injury attorneys is the case method.
Yeah.
Because it's relevant, right? So like, can I show you the case method to get more cases?
And they're like, that's my tribal language.
That sounds
this is
good.
fantastic.
Let's do it, right? So the case method is broken down in an acronym, obviously.
Yeah.
And then what we do is the way that I built it out was the prospecting, the marketing aspect was handled by Reach Local.
Yeah.
The CRM stuff though was not. So I brought on Practice Panther.
Yeah.
I paid them for enterprise account to have. I didn't want to do it white labeled. I just told them like I'm cool with it being Practice Panther. Like it doesn't have to be my stupid ass CRM. Like I'll just be Practice Panther.
Yeah.
But what I do want is I want someone to help me make an intranet. So like I created a course for the people I work with. They don't ever look at it.
Yeah.
But it's there as additional value. And it's like, here's a welcome video. Here's how you use Practice Panther. Here's how you use Practice Panther in accordance with our case method.
Yeah.
And yada yada yada. So that's exactly how we did it.
Interesting.
It took time though. Obviously, it took about 1.5 years to get it like really solid and really great.
Yeah.
Based off of doing it, fucking it up, asking questions to the clients about what they like and what they don't, which I call a red, green, yellow audit call. We can talk about that.
So many.
Always, bro. Always. And then you get them on those calls, and basically you get the advice from them, and you make it better.
Yeah.
The advice was 90% of them don't want to have the videos, but having it for their paralegal or someone else on their team is really valuable.
So that's what I discovered. So I've got my Conversion Academy, and I think after like listening to you explain everything, I've gone through a similar journey. but not purposefully, like almost accidentally, like solve the next problem. So I've got like sales training that I charge way too much money for to solve the problem about like they don't know how to take the leads.
Yep.
And I can prove that it's a problem because I'm doing sneaky surveys, welcome text, call it, and go.
Yep.
Like obviously, like Sharon doesn't know how to do these things, so I'm gonna solve that problem in exchange for money. And so one of the ways I do this is either in-person sales training. They come here, like they bring 5 other people, I yell at them for 5 hours, they love it. Or I've got a mini course called the Conversion Academy, which is the script. This is what they're supposed to say and how to say and all that.
Yeah.
And because it's like slide deck, I can just drop out the offer or the niche or anything like that, right?
So I think there's no wrong answer, right? Like
Right.
anyone that's watching, it's determined based on what you want to do. Like when you say that you would bring people in 5 people, I would never want to do that.
Really?
Unless they're entrepreneurs. Definitely not my niche.
Oh, I
Definitely
bring
not
their
a-
staff in. I yell at
Hell
their
no.
staff. It's fantastic.
No way I would want to work
Really?
with an attorney. No
Yeah.
chance. Zero. I don't want to deal with that shit. I'm
Yeah.
not interested in it. Can I make money off of it? For
Yeah.
sure. But I'd much rather exchange my time for doing it one time. So I'll
Gotcha.
give you a great example. When I created Prospecting on Demand Elite, my mentorship program, we've spoken about this before.
Yeah.
When I created it first, the first iteration was live, 6 weeks, 2 calls per week. And I would literally be coaching on the call. So
Yeah.
here's an example, Jeff. I'm on the call and I'm training you on sales. I'm lecturing you, right?
Yeah.
And every time I'd get off that call, a little bit more and more of me would be taken away. Like,
Yeah.
why didn't I just record this one time
Right.
instead of saying the same thing to 4 different groups of 7 people?
Yeah.
This seems really stupid, right? It's the same model with your Conversion Academy. Now, if someone came to me and said, I only want to do it in this route that you lecture it to me,
Yeah.
if you pay me 10 times more,
Then maybe we'll have a conversation,
Right? Like
yeah.
Conversion Academy might be $97 to have your team come in here, 5 people for 5 hours to teach you everything. It'd be 10 grand.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly the philosophy. Yeah.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
Correct.
that.
Yeah.
I'd probably be like heavily pushing them to the
Yeah,
Conversion
yeah.
Academy.
So it's super interesting. So like you're always solving the next problem. You're finding a white label provider that's really, really good. And just your value add is like the strategy to support having conversation.
100%. And
you charge, I'm just making up a number. Let's just say you charge $3,000 a month for the program, $5,000 a month for the program. And you've got your own course that you add to it.
Yep.
You got strategy session support. You've got the frameworks and all that stuff. So you can actually show them on how to convert and all that stuff. So that's really like the value add, right?
100%.
Which you really just record once.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what we did.
Great, fine, perfect.
We had to do it a couple times because we fucked it up, obviously. But
Yeah.
yeah, but we're pretty
One
good
good
now.
time.
Yeah,
Right. Just do it one good time. Right.
It's frustrating when you
Yeah.
have to do it
No,
again.
the funniest part is like when I'm recording videos, I'm like, why did my mouth say that? Like, just I don't understand. And I hate when like there's a hard cut like a YouTube. So like I have to like every sentence I go back to like my original pose. It looks fucking awkward. And
I
so
have a hilarious story for you.
yeah.
When I created Prospecting on Demand, one of the things I promised the people in the program up in the first like year and a half that I would add value to the program. If you ask me, and I see you do this all the time, I love those posts. Like,
Yeah.
what do you want to see? I love that, right?
Yeah.
Like that's what people want, right? Rose Antonio posted about it, like
Yeah.
answer that. She's part of POD also. Like
Yeah.
she's like, I appreciate you always adding, and I'm super about that.
She's like,
also.
I bought something and I hate it. I was like, was
Was
it
that
mine?
me? I
Was
saw
it mine?
that. I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. So basically, like, I added videos, and look, I get frustrated pretty easily. I'm just being real.
Yeah.
And sometimes when I'm doing a video, I have the same basic start to every video, like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
Alex Shinsky here from Prospecting on Demand. Hope
Yeah.
you're doing well. Blah blah blah. Right. And sometimes when I'm doing a video over and over, the way I do videos is similar to the way that I script out sales calls.
Yeah.
I do not say things in robotic fashion. I don't type out the whole thing. I write bullet points, and then if I have to have like a very specific sentence, I'll put the sentence in.
Yeah.
Right? So I did a video, this is like a year and a half ago, and I start off the video. I'm like, hey, it's Alex Slingley.
You're like, oh, mouth.
Other fucker.
Yeah.
And I'm screaming it, right? I'm frustrated. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Alex Shinsky. I forgot to edit that part out.
Oh, good. That's in the video.
So
yeah.
so one of my clients messages me. He's like, hey, like Alex, I just died laughing from the latest video. I'm like, died laughing?
Like, why?
I don't think it was supposed to be funny.
Yeah.
He's like, you forgot to edit the beginning. So I go back
That's
in the membership
so
area.
funny.
I was dying. I'm
You're
like,
like,
whatever. I'm a
"Oh,
human being. I'm a human being.
Yeah, it's being authentic.
You saw me
yeah.
get pissed.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But yeah, so I have the Conversion Academy. I've got the sales training, all that to solve that next problem. But what you do is you find a best performing offer from a subcontractor.
Yep.
Just look at it like that, right?
100%.
And it looks like there's 4 or 5 names out there that have proven case studies that are
Yep.
more than happy to say, rip off my logo and drop your stuff on there.
100%.
And then you're doing your nurturing to get them on the phone.
Yep.
You're doing your sales call to make them close on the spot.
Yep.
And then you say, great, my value add is not just hiring these people to do your
Yes.
job for you. My value add
Whole
is
system.
the whole system, which includes the sales training, showing you how to do what to do, the frameworks and all that follow up and all that fun stuff.
So the 3 really important words are comprehensive,
yeah.
proven, process.
Comprehensive proven process.
proven process.
Interesting.
Because it's not comprehensive. You're just providing leads.
Right.
It's not.
That won't get somebody
it
their
just-
intended result.
it's
That's
like-
what they think, but it's not true.
It's not. And
Yeah.
they think it. That's the problem. They
Yeah.
think that's the case. So like, what the hell are you talking about? You don't think we don't know how to sell? Of course we know how to sell. And
Yeah.
then, okay, well, let me
You
fast
can't you
forward
can't
if I
tell them
could.
they're wrong.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
I know, it's pretty funny.
Why do you think I stopped working with personal injury attorneys, bro?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
legitimately.
Of course I know how to sell. I can
Un-
land every deal is like $1 million. Of course I'm gonna
Every
get it.
client I had after, if you remember, I told you the first 10 clients I had were all referrals because of like they were in a fraternity together.
Yeah.
So it was easy to sell them. Every single person after that was cold that didn't already know me, like, oh, you're Lloyd's friend or like whatever. It was like such an asshole.
Yeah.
The worst.
Yeah.
Just terrible people. And I didn't want to do any reporting calls. I actually learned something amazing from them, though, that could be great value for everyone else. A lot of people get on reporting calls and they have no idea what they're saying because, like we said, they don't actually do the reporting. They don't actually do the ads themselves. So they get questions asked and then they look stupid. The way that I do it is I have someone at my Reach Local team just do a Loom video recording.
Yeah.
First of all, it saves them time that they don't want to spend. And you can comment below on the Loom video exactly what it is. So we
Yeah.
have like a 10-minute video. We have an agenda for it.
Yeah.
Start here with the best result. Say these things, optimization, what we're going to do next month, what we need from you.
Yeah.
We're done.
So you
right?
send the script for like the monthly reporting. You send the script to the provider.
Exactly. Unless they already have something.
Yeah, and then they
Because
shoot
if
the
you-
video.
Exactly. If you don't send them a script, they might come to you with a reporting video that's 40 minutes. You're like, dude,
Right. You're like,
you
no, thank
totally missed the point of this.
Interesting.
Right? So you want it to be concise.
Yeah.
10 minutes. Send it to them. Now you could say, hey, if you need to get on a call, let us know.
Yeah.
The reality is they don't want to get on a call.
Yeah.
They just want to know that this is working out. And it's really, really powerful.
Yeah, I do the Loom videos, but not with that level of like structure behind it.
Always
I'm seeing
structure.
like a lot of themes, like as far as like Alex Schlinsky's life is like try to remove as many variables as you can and make consistent improvements over time.
No doubt.
Right. And that I just came back from Mastermind. There are people that are doing like, I was sitting next to people that are doing 600 grand a month, and next to them were people doing 1.2 million a month, and that's their whole philosophy. Like it doesn't matter where you start. It matters if you standardize and make consistent improvements in the right direction.
100%.
Because then, by the way, you know where to go.
That's the only thing. Like, you can't optimize something that you're not tracking effectively.
Correct.
It's just not possible. And
Yeah.
then it's like a great example. I use this one a lot. Like, Jeff, what'd you have for dinner last Tuesday night?
I haven't a clue.
Now,
Yep.
if you were dieting and you're on a heavy regimen of calorie counting, wouldn't you know?
Yeah, I
Because
look
you
at my
put it
journal.
down?
Yeah.
That's the idea. So like when I tell someone like, how are you prospecting currently? It's like, I'm doing cold email. Like, but give me more specifics. Like,
Yeah.
what's your offer? How are you nurturing? Do
Yeah.
you follow up? How much? How many leads have said yes or
there's a
no? What's
guy
the open rate?
There's a guy in our group who just landed a second client, 2,900 a month. He now does like, so everybody in my group when they land a client, they go live, right?
Yeah, I love
like
that.
it's required. Like you have to go
dope.
live, others kick you the fuck out. And what's crazy is like you watch the first live from the second. The first live is like, yeah, so I did this, and then they paid money, and that was the end of it. Literally like 15 seconds. His next video was like, all right, guys, I send out 6,000 emails. I got 45 responses. I got 3 phone calls out of it.
Now it's
one of them closed, and I was like, that's how you're supposed to do a video.
Now it's real. This
Yeah.
is also like we spoke about earlier in the first video, the clarity and ambiguity.
Yeah.
Like when I ask someone like, what do you want to achieve? And they're like, I want time freedom. I want financial freedom. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. How
What
many
does
hours
success
and how
mean
many
to you?
dollars?
What does success mean to me? That's totally different.
Yeah.
And you work it backwards. So let's say, Alex, I want to make $10,000. Okay, great. Now let's work it backwards. How
Yeah.
many clients do you need to get 10? 10 clients at 1,000? Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Now, if you need 10 clients, how many sales calls do you need?
30.
Okay, so if you need 30 sales calls, how many leads do you need to get 30 sales calls? 1,000? 100?
Yeah.
Great. Now we have KPIs to shoot for. Now we work towards them. The biggest problem is people set those KPIs and then they miss them drastically. And they're like,
Correct.
I'm such a failure. It's like, hello, that's
Yeah.
the model.
Yeah.
Now you could fix it. Otherwise, you just be like, I'm such a failure because I don't even know the numbers.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's going on.
It's just like going to the gym. Like, yeah, you want to lose 30 pounds, great. Go to the gym every day
I
for
wouldn't
an
know
hour.
shit about it.
Right, but like, yeah, pretty, like I've never done it. Yeah. But like the whole philosophy, like if you want to lose like 10, 15, 30 pounds or gain 10, 15, 30 pounds of muscle, like you track everything in, everything out, the time,
Exactly.
effort, energy, money. And like everyone who has a journal at the gym will automatically lose weight to gain muscle. Like it's
No
not
doubt.
because of the journal. It's because of what the journal makes
Tracking
you
and
do.
products.
Correct.
Exactly. It's the same thing like a lot of people that have, problems with eating.
Yeah.
Like maybe a celiac or something like that. It's not like you know when you're born that I have a problem eating bread.
Correct.
Right? But then you start writing down like what you're eating and how shitty you feel afterwards. Then you go to a nutritionist.
Yeah.
Like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Rather than what do you think you eat?
Yeah.
Oh crap, right? Because what our brain does is there's so much stimuli, so much going on. It's actually unbelievable how much our brain is capable of remembering such strange things. The amount of sports knowledge that I have that's totally useless
Yeah.
is legitimately mind-boggling. I
Yeah.
don't understand how I understand and remember weird things like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like I remember weird names, I remember like just super unique things. But our brain compiles all this information
Yeah.
into a heuristic, into a framework, into what we think is actually happening.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you and force you, like you'll make $1 million, Jeff,
Yeah.
if you tell me what you had Tuesday night for dinner. You sit down here for 5 minutes and try to
Tuesday night.
identify like what's the menu items that I normally have, like
Yeah.
what are the things that I normally do, and you'd guess and you'd hope you make it.
Yeah.
Because the reality is our brains like compiled all the information. So when I try to help someone with prospecting or sales, it's like they've compiled all the sales into one. Really, it's like they had one bad sale,
Right.
and then all the sales suddenly, the last 20 have been all bad because
Yeah.
they didn't track anything. So it just
That's
is like
so
they're remembering
funny.
one thing at a time.
So that happens not just to me and not just my students, to my clients too.
Oh, yeah.
So what'll happen is like I'll send them like, let's just say 30 customer opportunities in 2 weeks, right? And like each of those customer opportunities, like they were identified by Facebook as a potential customer.
Yep.
They live within 3 miles. They saw the ad. They clicked on the ad. They let the landing page load. They clicked I'm in. They typed in their name, number, and email, and then called. They put in a lot of effort. Let's take a next step. The first 2 suck, so they knock the rest of them off.
Yep.
And I have to come in on the second month and say, great, what happened to the remaining 27 or 28? They're like, oh, I don't know.
No, they
But
all sucked.
they're all bad. I go, well, these 5 people responded to my sneaky survey indicating that they were ready to buy, but they just didn't get a call back. So how are we going to fix this for the next month? And that makes an implication of like renewal.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Instead of like saying, well, I guess we're just going to bring it to a close, or letting them own the conversation. I go, here's proof. Here's intent. We're doing the job. What went wrong, and let's fix it for next
That's why
month. So
tracking
making
is so important.
the
That's
next-
why having those 3 W's, like if you have the 3 W's, it's a lot easier to remember what happened on the sales call.
Fantastic.
Every time I do a sales call, at the end of the call, I write down those 3 W's
Yeah.
from the call. And then if there was an objection or reason they didn't buy, so I
Yeah.
remember that, or some very important detail that I would not remember if I came back,
Yeah.
either for resonating with them, like, hey, like you mentioned that your daughter has like a recital. I don't need to remember that.
Yeah.
But when I get on a call with them 2 weeks later and like, how was your daughter's recital? They appreciate that. They really
Fantastic.
do appreciate that.
Yeah.
And all it takes is literally 10 seconds writing something down.
Yep.
This is also why I'm so adamant about people using calendars and like
Yeah.
having things in place. If you don't have a calendar in place, how are you spending your time? I don't know.
doing
I'm
stuff.
just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Well, how about we look at your calendar and look at exactly what
No,
you've
no.
been
If I
doing?
did that, I would realize I'm wrong and they need to improve.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very interesting.
Tracking is everything.
Are you open to 3 more 15-minute strategy calls like we did last time?
Yeah, let's do it.
So guys, if you're watching this still, hashtag AlexMyFace, and we'll pick 3 people to connect you with a 15-minute one-on-one or group call with Alex. He'll talk about like the prospecting offers and the sales offer and the closing and fulfilling and all that stuff.
All that jazz.
What I really like, by the way, is you have solved the biggest reason why people do not take a next step, which is I don't know if I can generate results. Like that's the biggest reason why. And you're saying that's fine. I don't have to. I've got somebody on my team that's really, really good at it. And so that has inherently like taken a lot of off my shoulders, and I can like breathe easier knowing like, no, there's a professional company that I work with that
Exactly.
does all this stuff. So it like
Exactly.
works out pretty well. And you're not necessarily a salesperson, you're charging a lot more. Much people are happier with like that type of model because you have bought the brain space and the calendar space in your life to give them the attention that they need to convert the results and the leads in ROI, which is pretty darn cool.
I just think overall, Jeff, like people as humans in general, definitely entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
We just are so commonly making mountains out of molehills.
Yeah.
Just like we create obstacles in our minds that are so much greater than they actually are
Yeah.
in reality, just because we're fearful. And
Yeah.
like, if I could say one thing as we close out today is just like embrace the fear.
Yeah.
Embrace the uncomfortable, because when you are there and when you get normalized and used to it,
Yeah.
that's first of all where life's greatest opportunities will happen, and also where you're going to learn the most. Like,
Correct.
what's really the worst end scenario? Guys,
They
we're on
say
a-
no.
We're on a flying rock
Yeah.
into the middle of space.
Yeah.
No one knows what the fuck is actually going on. And
Right.
ideally, we're just hoping to help people. Stop worrying so much.
That's so interesting.
Take the leap.
One of the tribal languages in the group is bear killing moment. Like I fundamentally believe like I'm afraid of like going out is a manifestation of I'm unsure what's out there. Maybe a bear will kill me. Right? My brain is about surviving, not thriving. I'm gonna
100%.
stay in my cave and eat Cheetos all day, which
No
is like
doubt.
well, that's why this is dark. It's very much like a cave, right?
Where's the Cheetos?
Right, it's outside. There's tacos, right? But like our brains are not meant like inherently to build agencies. That's just a modern day thing. We're meant to live in a cave and eat fruit, and every once in a while kill a gazelle. But when we aren't starving, our brains are saying you aren't dying. Stop going outside. You might die, right? And so you have to ultimately understand there's no more bears anymore. It's really not. You can be a normal human being. You don't have to be an expert. It's going to be okay. And you just want to put yourself in a position where you are consistently making improvements towards the time and the money goal that you want.
No doubt.
Right, which is pretty darn cool.
I just think a lot of people in general are scared to fail.
Yeah.
And scared not to be the best person you can be. But I failed so many times. I made so many mistakes. Like
Yeah.
I've screwed up so many things. I've had bad clients in coaching and in my marketing agency. I've felt bad about bringing people on in certain areas, but I'm always trying to learn and be better. Like
Yeah.
I'm not Superman. I am not a superhuman. I just try to give everything I've got the best way I can. And I know that you do the same.
Yeah.
And those are the people that succeed the most, not the people that are just like, I'm perfect in every way, because
Yeah.
there's no such thing as that. And if you're trying to fight towards perfection, you're not even going to get started.
Nope.
You won't even start at the start. You will literally not start.
That first step is always recognizing that you have a problem you need solving.
100%.
Right? Becker, what are we doing for like the send off?
I say we got two cups here. I say we clink them together, and a fighter jet will fly under the table.
Fighter jet of just like patriotism.
I'm thinking you guys like very slowly, kind of very casually, and then fighter jet will just crash.
Just like crash. Do we clink them? Explosion? Something like that. Okay, very cool. That's the end of it. Everyone, thanks so much. It's been Alex Shilinsky. I hope we end the stream without like 5 minutes of conversation in the background.
Well, would you like me to end it right this
Yeah, just end it. I think that's the end of it. I don't know.
See you, fam.
I don't know.